Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Pause with Uma. As many of you know, this show used to be called Uma's Morning Light, but lately I've had some time to think about things. My last episode of Uma's Morning Light was aired on June 6, 2025, and then I took the summer off, as I do every year. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. You can do things like that, take some time off. And I reflected and I thought about things. And it also correlated to what I was going through in my personal life. And the overall message that I seemed to be given was to slow things down a bit, not just for myself, but for all of us. We live in a time of rapid reactions, fast movements, quick thoughts, news flashes, hot takes, and judgments that are thrown around before we even take a breath. So I renamed the show The Daily Pause, because there is power in stepping back, reflecting, connecting with spirit, and responding rather than reacting. It's in that space of the pause that healing and clarity can begin. So today we'll walk around with the energies around us. We'll dissect them. We'll look at them from a higher vantage point. We'll see what the cosmos are nudging, what spirit has to say. And then we're going to dive into some recent events that are stirring the collective. That's why I named today's first episode, because this is technically season 2 of my podcast, episode 1, right? Yeah, season 2, episode 1. And today's topic is healing the collective, moving past division. All right, so let's jump right in. We're going to start with the daily numerology of today. So numerology is the art of counting numbers, making calculations, and understanding that every number has a vibrational energy attached to it. When you add up the numbers of today's date, Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, we get the number 7. Now, 7 is a reflective number. So very interesting, right? That I'm starting my podcast on a 7 day. I've been giving a lot of thought to this and wondering what direction I should go with. Today's vibration will have you reflecting, emphasizes wisdom, spiritual growth, and encouraging a balance between your inner contemplation and then meaningful action to foster true growth. 7 is a number of the spiritual seeker. So today is a great day to reflect on your own spiritual path or the lack thereof, and to think about how you are doing spiritually. It's a great day for quiet reflection, maybe taking a walk outside, meditating. But it's crucial that whatever insights you gain, you apply it to your life in meaningful ways. Today calls for honest and open communication. Another great reason why I restarted this podcast. It calls for you to speak with honesty and from the heart, as sincere and open communication is not just healthy for your own spiritual development, but it is essential for healing relationships and building trust. Today, trust your intuition, but also stay grounded in reality. And we do have a topic about current events that we're going to talk about later in the segment. So remind yourself to align your choices with your inner values and stay grounded in your reality. All right? So that's the numerology of today. It is a 7-day. When we look at the astrology of today, we have a couple of things going on. Right now, where I am in the world, it's 11:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But did you know at 8:20 a.m. this morning, the moon was in conjunction with Jupiter? The conjunction between the moon and Jupiter could mean significant financial gains, as well as social success, and also the tendency to find enjoyment and socialize. During this time, you will also have a healthy life instinct, wealthy feelings, artistic inclinations, and ambition. By the way, I'm getting this from astrosofa.com. So shout out to Astrosofa for today's daily energy astrology update. Now at 2:54 p.m. today, we have the sun in Virgo sextile the moon in Cancer. So your energy may feel slightly passive. You will be able to think rationally, acting with your head instead of your emotions. And you'll feel called to treat your human beings as equals. Relationships should run smoothly around this time. And good relationships, good communication with relatives and friends can also be expected. But unfortunately, this very calming, peaceful, aspect does not last long. It comes in at 2:54 p.m. today, and then we have another transit at 6:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be the moon in Cancer will square the Mars in Libra. So this could lead to arguments, disagreements, right? Some people can be impulsive and overspend. You may feel moody, you may feel passionate. So for females, you might feel some disruptions in your body because the Cancer moon does not like a square with Mars in Libra. And then after that, at 8:51 p.m., we have the Cancer moon sextile to Mercury in Virgo. So this is a good time for any sort of marketing, advertising, and public relations. You could be heavily involved in like calls, FaceTimes with family members, your groups, your friends, the group chats. It is a great time to buy a car, go on short distance travels, enjoy the company of your neighbors, go on dates, great communication happening around 9 p.m. tonight. And then finally at 11:14 p.m., we have the moon in Cancer trine Saturn in Pisces, which is weird because, according to astrosofa.com, this is a great time to conduct business meetings. I don't know who's conducting business meetings at 11 p.m., but I feel that the takeaway of this is that you'll be mentally strong. So it's a good idea if you're still up to focus on your business or your business ideas. Financial decisions will also come easily to you, as you won't make any extravagant or unnecessary movements. So that's your astrology for today, September 16th, 2025. I want to lead into your horoscope for the day, and I'm going to give the horoscope for each of the zodiac signs. So we're going to start with Aries, the baby of the zodiacs. Aries, today, I need to mention that I am getting the horoscopes from today.com, the Today Show. I like their stuff, actually. And they mentioned that the healing centaur Chiron connects with Venus and Mars, offering us a chance to heal, make amends, and focus on your needs. Today is a best day for Gemini and Sagittarius. So Aries, today issues with power and control begin to come up again. Find balance with others to create a shift in all your relationships. Taurus, you may find yourself busier than you expected to be this week, which could lead you either towards productivity or the need for escapism. Gemini, the activities you're doing now to help expand your mind are also assisting you in other ways, namely in how you relate to others. Cancer, your professional community will see you this week, so don't shy away from the acknowledgement. Embrace it. Leo, heal the world and create hope by inspiring others to move towards positivity. Don't drag people for their shortcomings. Do better. Virgo, a new professional opportunity is bringing hope to your work life. It may even allow you to find a moment of clarity in what you want to achieve. Libra, the desire to evolve professionally is strong at the moment, which is why you are finding opportunities that suit your desired outcome. I said income, but it says outcome. Scorpio, you are never going to evolve if you keep on throwing shade. Instead of leaning into lower vibrational energy, use your power for good. Sagittarius, before you lean into one way of thinking, be patient and at ease with others as they understand the new format of your relationship. Have patience and keep boundaries up. Capricorn, embrace your partner's individuality and let them move forward in their dreams. This won't shift the balance, but it will bring you closer. Aquarius, committing to a daily routine that allows you to wake up and go to sleep at the same time. Regulating your daily vibe will help you. And Pisces, your mind and heart yearn to connect with special someone. Take a leap of faith by expressing your deepest feelings and desires. All right, that is the horoscopes for today, September 16th, 2025. Now, I want to bring our perspective to the news today. Recently, we witnessed, especially in the US, two heartbreaking events. The lynching of Trey Reed, a young Black college student in Mississippi, and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, also a young, not as young as Trey Reed, in his 30s, a young, how do I say this? Supporter, Trump supporter, MAGA contributor at a pep rally, which incidentally also happened at a college. Now, immediately, the whole world went into division. And trust me, I'm a live streamer that hosts a very hot topics debate stream every night on an app where we have both sides that come in and fight it out every night. You know, pro-Trump, pro-Democrat, pro-liberal, pro-Republican. Every night they come in and I try to provide the space for them to see each other's point of views. Most times we can have conversations. Sometimes it goes completely off the tracks, but it is what it is. And I shudder to think what the conversations will be like tonight, now with the very recent lynching of Trey Reed. Society, guys, is pushing us into division. Who is right? Who is wrong? Who deserves compassion? Who doesn't? But when you look at things from a higher perspective, we are all souls. We are all here for a short time, whether it was perceivably cut short or not. Both lives mattered. Both families are grieving right now, and both deserve justice. Violence doesn't just end lives, guys. It creates ripples of hate. And if we meet hate with more hate, hate wins again. Sometimes people think I don't follow the news, or I'm kind of living in my rose-colored glasses bubble. But what people don't understand is that I've lived through a lifetime of violence and hate and suffering and more hate, right? And after a point in time, you just decide to choose to be happy. Well, as happy as you can be with everything that's going on in the world. There's a saying that, well, there was an experiment done that they had a glass box with red ants in it, and then someone added black ants into the glass box. And the red ants and the black ants were coexisting peacefully until someone came along and shook the box. And when they shook the box, the ants began fighting each other. When you hear stories like this in the news, from a spiritual perspective, ask yourself, who is shaking the box? Who is benefiting from us fighting each other? Who stands to win in this? Because you're not winning for creating hate, sending hate, receiving hate. I'm not winning, right? So who's winning? Today, I invite you to pause before choosing sides. And if you can avoid choosing sides altogether and hold compassion, then you win. That is the only way out of this. So our daily affirmation for today, I choose compassion over division. I honor every soul and I release hate from my heart. I choose compassion over division. I honor every soul and I release hate from my heart. That is your daily affirmation for today. Remind yourself that compassion has more strength for you than hate. And unity is more powerful than division. All right, guys, let's get into our collective energy reading of the day. Usually when I do these readings, I use my tarot cards, but for today, I wanted to see what the message would be with a mix of oracle cards, you know? So let's see. I'm going to just meditate for a little bit and figure out which of these decks that I want to use. Okay, so let's get our daily energy message of the day. It's a collective energy reading. You know, what message does Spirit have for all of us today? And I'm going to remind you guys that I am a professional tarot card reader, psychic medium, and channeler. So if you are needing a personal spiritual assessment, I am happy to give you a reading. Just DM me or contact me. So we have two. I'm using the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. And we have two goddesses that came out for messages today. We have Kali with endings and beginnings. And we have, I've never heard of this goddess, Irakura for blossoming. So let's look at the Kali message and see what it has to say for us today. Kali's message: the old must be released so that the new can enter. Message from Kali: I sing praises to those whose hearts accept the universal order, which only appears to be chaotic and ever-changing. In actuality, everything is designed down to the smallest detail to be in perfect operation. The dance of the universe is a happy one, with energy swirling and twirling in a never-ending celebration of life itself. Join this dance and enjoy the remarkable journey of the weavings of the story of your life. Do not fear what appears to be a change or a loss. It's only the transitioning orbit of energy playing with you. Embrace it as evidence that you're alive. Embrace your deepest emotions as a signal of your true human essence. So I feel with this message, it's important to, on a collective scale, to remember that anything that is perceived as an ending is also a new beginning. I've been talking recently about 2025 is a 9-year, which is the ending of a 9-year cycle. 2026 begins a brand new cycle. So guys, we are watching what is going on in the news today. We've had 2 recent assassinations, right? With one very public, prominent Trump supporter and one young Black college student in Mississippi being lynched. Endings are leading to new beginnings. Hold compassion for these people, for their families, and trust that we have better days ahead. That is the message of Kali. Now, Irakura is a goddess of Celtic and Germanic history and lineage. She was an earth mother deity, and her message is blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. The message from Irakura: in many ways, you are like a flower bud who is ripe and ready to open and grow. Don't try to rush the process, as it's part of your beautiful path. Enjoy learning new knowledge and skills. Take your time to gather new ideas. Nurture your body with plenty of fresh air, sunshine, water, and healthy food. Soon enough, you'll get the unmistakable signal that it is time to put your learning into action. Spend time among flowers or work with flower essences and oils to support your growth process. This is a great message. I was just talking to someone yesterday. A former student of mine came back to an event, and I've been seeing her growth on social media, and I've been seeing where she can do more in terms of self-care and self-work, as opposed to, what's focusing so much on the business or what's going on in the world. And I didn't really want to tell her this because, nobody really likes to tell people what to do with their lives and whatnot. But, Spirit gave me a chance to talk to her about it, and I did. I hope I wasn't too harsh to her. And really and truly, the message was simple. Enjoy your life. You're blossoming. You're just getting started. You don't have to become an expert, I tell people all the time, I was 20 years in the wilderness before I became a spiritual teacher, before I got the what's going on, right? Before I even stepped on the path, all of my 20s and a bit of my 30s was all about learning myself and learning about what works and what doesn't work. So I tell people all the time that when you rush things, you miss the joy of the journey. And it's my sincerest wish that no one misses the journey. The journey is so good. All right, let's get the Divine Energy Oracle message of today for all of us. Build on solid ground. That is our message today. Build on solid ground. What's crumbling are simply elements of your life that have been built on shaky ground. The good health you've ignored becomes illness. The commitments you've dishonored give way to separation. The finances you've exploited transform into debt. You may feel that it's the end of your world, and yes, indeed, it is the end of those aspects that aren't solidly grounded. But be glad, because it's far too stressful to pretend that all is well when it isn't. Things are breaking down, but not because you're being punished. Rather, it's because they were never safe and solid in the first place. Your divine energy is calling you to create a life based on a firm and truthful foundation and genuine integrity, not superficial appearances. So that's kind of like a combination of the two messages today. Respect the endings that are happening in your life. Trust that you're going to a better place. In the meantime, don't rush the process. Enjoy the journey. That is the collective energy message for today. Before I leave, I want to leave you guys with an inspirational quote that I feel is perfect for today. And the quote is from Martin Luther King Jr. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I get tongue-tied. And he said, "Hate cannot drive out hate. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that." He also said, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." So I leave those words with you from the Honorable Martin Luther King Jr. because the world right now is divided. People are asking you to pick a side. And I'm telling you, don't pick any side, but the human side. Have compassion for everyone. Bring light and love to every situation. If we all do our part, we can make it through. And we can move into a new cycle next year, 2026, new cycle, year one, with all the aspects we wish to bring: love, compassion, peace, and unity. That's your reading, your energy reading for the day. All right, guys, I know I'm a little bit choppy today for our first day back, but I'm going to get the hang of it. I'm going to get back into the swing of things. I just want to thank those of you that listened till the end for joining me on my podcast, The Daily Pause. It will be a daily podcast Monday through Friday, and this is usually the format it's going to follow, but we'll see. We'll see as we progress and how we do. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to your comments that you leave, whether on my YouTube channel, whether on my podcast, on my social media streams. I appreciate all of it. Thanks, and have a wonderful day.